Severe weather conditions did prompt On Broadway to cancel its farmers market for tonight, 1 week after vendors expressed frustrations about a late cancellation last week that ended in damaged tents and products. Drew Best spoke with one of the vendors reflecting on the past week. Drew.
Yeah, Cammie, On Broadway made the call to cancel tonight's farmers market over 5 hours in advance, citing significant risk for severe weather during market hours. A statement from On Broadway about today's decision reading in part, quote, "Out of an abundance of caution, canceling the market is the safest decision for our vendors, customers, volunteers, and staff. Scheduled vendors have been directly contacted regarding today's forecast. We recognize that market days are an important source of income for many vendors and that these decisions have a real impact on small businesses. We look forward to more favorable weather ahead for the remainder of the market season," end quote. Now this afternoon, I spoke with the owner of Luna Glow Candle Bar, one of the vendors who says she is working to bounce back from roughly $1,200 of damages to her tent and products. She tells me she's sad for the vendors and farmers who cannot sell their products again today, but feels On Broadway made the right call.
Even right now, the skies are starting to turn a little bit gray, so it could change very quickly. And it's unfortunate that it was canceled, but I think it is better to play it safe and keep people's safety in mind.
I will be speaking with On Broadway officials shortly who are now looking ahead to possible severe weather at Fire Over the Fox on 4th of July. Cammie.